Welcome to Mock the Mock, where I take a look at someone else's mock draft and I mock and give you my views, thoughts, and opinions. Got a great one for you. Special thanks to our friends over at Underdog Fantasy. More on them a little bit later, but we're traveling over to Anthelon Sports, taking a look at Luke Easterling and his 2-round mock draft. I like these extended mock drafts. I want to see what players they might have that I haven't looked at yet, or who do they have where. It's always a ton of fun to me, so come, follow me. Let's explore. Pick one. I imagine this is the current draft order. Didn't read this before because I wanted to give y'all my raw reaction. Yep, using the latest draft order following Week 7 of the NFL. And it's the New York Jets. Is it a quarterback bet? Your sweet cheeks. It's a quarterback. Fernando Mendoza, quarterback out of Indiana. Kind of obvious. You look at the quarterback situation for the Jets. I think they just benched Justin Fields in favor of Tyrod Taylor. He's not a long-term option. If you're picking first overall, and there's a quarterback worth a first-round pick, then that quarterback usually goes first overall. So someone's got to take the swing. Fernando Mendoza having a really good year. I think he might be. Oh no, I think Ty Simpson's currently the leader in Heisman odds, but Mendoza's up there. He's having a great year over for the Hoosiers. Pick 2. Hey, it's my Miami Dolphins. We're just going to take Ruben Bain, edge out of Miami. We're just going to close our eyes, just take the best player available. I don't mind that strategy. I think we got bigger needs, bigger fish to fry, so to speak. Whether it be wide receiver, tackle, I wouldn't even mind if they took a shot on quarterback. I know we can't get off of Tua's contract until next season, but still, this team feels like it's ready for a massive rebuild. I mean, when you lose to the Browns, it makes you feel a certain way. It does. It just does. But I guess me and that franchise guy now have something in common. Both our teams have lost to the Browns this year. His team's in a much better place being a Packers fan, but yeah, man, it sounds like we're gonna at least keep Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer for the season. I've been a big promoter I've been a big advocate of the Dolphins should move on from Chris Greer. Doesn't sound like that's gonna happen. Yeah, I'm a Dolphins fan. I'm always sad. New Orleans Saints, they're going to go with Caleb Downs, safety out of Ohio State. Saints, they're doing a similar thing, just closing their eyes, taking the best player available. That happens to be Caleb Downs. They don't really have an immediate need at safety, but that's fine. They can figure out what to do. I imagine you get off of Justin Reed's contract, which they can next year if they want to, or you can hold on to all your safeties and just, I don't know, figure out a way to get them all on the field. That way you just have your most talented players on the field. They're looking good at quarterback, so they're looking fine at quarterback. Though I would say Spencer Rattler's probably coming off his worst performance. Though it wasn't all that bad. I've seen worse performances from, I don't know, a team that we just covered with a lot more money invested in the quarterback position. But yeah, I mean, I don't think we need to talk about the quarterback position for the Saints for a little bit. Tennessee Titans are going to go with Jordan Tyson, wide receiver out of Arizona State. He's the best wide receiver in this class. They just mutually separated from Tyler Lockett. I feel like Calvin Ridley's not long for the Titans roster. So go ahead and get your franchise quarterback in Cam Ward, a franchise level option at pass catcher. We love the NFL draft, and now my draft guide is available for purchase. It comes with over 500 player backgrounds and close to 300 player evals. It updates throughout the whole draft cycle. So when I add a new eval or I change my rankings, you're going to be the first to know. It's going to have all the pro day and combine numbers along with analytics, and it's a Google spreadsheet for right now. So you have to include your email with the purchase, but we will be switching over to a website at the end of the year. And if you get it now, it's going to be cheaper now than it will be later. It's a great way to support the channel, and as always, much appreciated, much obliged. Pick 5. Nothing out of the usual. Nothing surprising yet. Oh, okay. Arvell Reese, linebacker at Ohio State, going to the Baltimore Ravens. I did this I think in my mock this past week. I don't know if I personally would take a linebacker this high, but I just kind of wanted to echo the sentiment that's out there as far as how people feel about Arvell Reese. You probably, if you haven't, you should have seen my linebacker rankings where Arvell Reese was number 1. He has been that good this year. You look at Baltimore, a team with seemingly a need for pass rush, and Reese actually would give them that. He has been not just a phenomenal blitzer, but someone that could get off the edge and win with his physical tools. Pick 6. Man, I bit my tongue, and it hurts. Speaking of hurts, no hurt here. Cleveland Browns taking Carnell Tate, wide receiver at Ohio State. Yeah, they need wide receiver. They don't necessarily, I guess, have to be in on this quarterback class. Or maybe you could take a swing on the position a little bit later. They do have a second first-round pick. Maybe you just want to secure that you get a very talented wide receiver, and maybe Mekhi Lemon or Carnell Tate could be off the board by the time you pick second. So you just want to go ahead and get that option now. And maybe you have faith that the quarterbacks could slip, could fall in this draft. They certainly can. I like Carnell Tate, man. He's been going off. He's been looking, I think he has more explosive plays this year than Jeremiah Smith. Yeah, because, I mean, just in that, was it against Minnesota? I think Carnell Tate had 4 receptions that went for over 40 yards. Utterly insane. The Las Vegas Raiders are going to take the next quarterback in this class, being Dante Moore. So much for the quarterbacks falling. Yeah, man, Ravens are a mess. I don't know exactly how that team will look in a year from now. I don't know exactly what the offseason has in store. Do they nuke the coaching staff again? Do they move off of Geno Smith? There is a lot of questions that if I'm the Raiders front office, I don't necessarily want to answer right now. It's not a good feel. It's not a good feel. It would be worse if they were Dolphins fans. Just the truth, man. It's just the truth. Pick 8. Oh, you want to get out, Coach? New York Giants are going to go with Peter Woods, defensive lineman out of Clemson. Let me get Gojo out of here. All right, Coach. There you go, buddy. Peter Woods, man. I feel like I don't have to further defend Peter Woods at this juncture, at this point. I think we all know he's a very good prospect, worth a top 10 to top 15 selection. If you're the Giants, I think preferably I'd want to help out my franchise quarterback in Jackson Dart, whether that be offensive line or wide receiver. But I mean, I'm not going to fault you if you feel like, well, Peter Woods is so much further up our board right now than any tackle or corner in this wide receiver in this class. So I get it. I'm down for it. But let's hit the stinger. I love that stinger, and I love our friends over at Underdog Fantasy. If you sign up using the promo code BROSHMO, they match that first deposit up to $1,000. Reduce is the best place for weekly best ball, or my favorite, higher lower on player stats. It could be basketball, baseball, NASCAR. I was about to say Quidditch. Maybe they got Quidditch up on there, but if you want to get in on the action, remember, Underdog Fantasy. Download it. Promo code. It's Broshmo. It's the name of the channel. It's me. Go ahead and do that, sucker. But as always, please play responsibly. Play within your means. Hit that 6 stinger one more time. Pick 9, Arizona Cardinals go with Francis Maui Noah, offensive tackle out of Miami. He plays right tackle. The Cardinals need right tackle if you're looking for a long-term replacement for Jonah Williams, who got annihilated this past week. Kind of is what it is. Micah Parsons will do that to a man, specifically your right tackle. But yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. There's something wrong with the offense there in Arizona. Not necessarily the right. It's not necessarily on the right tackle, but doesn't help add in a little help. Pick 10, Houston Texans. They go with Spencer Fano, offensive tackle out of Utah. Another guy playing right tackle there. Listen, the offensive line's been atrocious for the Texans. this pick almost can't be anything other than offensive line. That offense is hard to watch. It's miserable to watch. It's not fair to CJ Stroud, who you have on a rookie freaking deal, and that you can't protect him. You are just taking that window of a good quarterback on a rookie deal and throwing it away. And just throwing it away. Offense needs to get good. It needs to get good around Spencer or the Houston Texans. Spencer Fano, whether he's a guard or a tackle, that helps at least start that process. Pick 11. Cincinnati Bengals go with Caden. Oh, wow. Run of offensive linemen. Caden Proctor going to the Cincinnati Bengals. Offensive tackle, guard. Some like him better at guard. For Alabama, he probably... Does he maybe end up playing tackle here for Cincinnati? Because I look at him and maybe you just play him at left guard. Because I think they got Fairchild at right. I could have that backwards. Let me just go check real quick. As we're going to take a gander at the offensive line. No, Fairchild's been playing left guard. Along with Dalton Reisner playing both right and left guard. Oh, and they've had Jalen Rivers in. Golly, Jalen Rivers has had a rough time of things. But to be fair, so has the offensive line in general. No one's really playing well, so whatever Proctor comes in and you feel like he's the best at, I guess you just take it if you're a Bengal, if you're the Bengals. Pick 12. Washington Commanders go with Keldrick Falk. Edge out of Auburn. He's built like a Dan Quinn defensive lineman. Unfortunately, they have lost Dorrance Armstrong to a season-ending knee injury. They need, honestly, more pass rush anyway. I think Armstrong's more of a Robin. You're looking for the Batman, so take a shot on a very toolsy prospect like Keldrick Falk, who has that inside-outside flexibility, versatility, whatever the hell you want to call it. Pick 13. I feel like it's TJ Parker. It is. It is TJ Parker going to the Dallas Cowboys. The rumor is they're trying to get them some Mason Crosby. Won't that be funny that they use the draft capital that they acquired for Micah Parsons just to take on a massive contract like Max Crosby's? And I mean, I get it. Micah Parsons, way more expensive, but it is what it is. If they do retain this pick, I think they probably take a shot with one of their picks at edge. The other, probably take the best defensive player available, or maybe take a swing at corner specifically. It's kind of where my head's at, but I like the pick of TJ Parker because he's just got a very high floor, excuse me. Los Angeles Rams, they're going to go Ty Simpson, quarterback out of Alabama. This pick is via the Atlanta Falcons. Matthew Stafford's coming off a 5-touchdown game. You could develop Ty Simpson as the successor. Take a year or two, depending on however you feel. Matthew Stafford, how much longer can he go? I don't know, man. Every week, I'm getting further and further out on the Rams drafting a quarterback early, just because Matthew Stafford he keeps playing hella good football, man. He just does. Pick 15. Minnesota Vikings go with Mansour Delane, corner out of LSU. First corner has now come off the board. Is this class reminiscent of, was it Byron Murphy? Who else was in that class? You had Byron Murphy. He was in the 2019 class? It was the 2019 draft class. All right, show me what. And that was in the second round. Did no corners go in the first round of that class? Because I know Greedy Williams, he fell in that class. Who was the other big corner, though? Oh, this is why I can't remember. The only corner that went in the first round was pick 30, Giants, DeAndre Baker. That's why I couldn't remember it. But then you had Byron Young, you had Rocky Sin, Sean Murphy Bunting, Travion Mullins, Joanne Williams, Greedy Williams, Lonnie Johnson, who's about to be activated for the Raiders, all go in the second round. Not a good corner class. Jamel Dean might end up being the best corner in that class. Now that I look at it, I loved Jamel Dean, man. I loved him. He's low-key one of my favorite players in the NFL. He just is. Mansour Delane, hella good. I think he is on par with what Brian Flores wants to do. If you're looking for a Brian Flores corner, it's Mansour Delane. And I mean, it just says it in the name. Carolina Panthers. They're going to go with Anthony Hill Jr., linebacker out of Texas. Interesting. Yeah, linebackers in need. I think I'd go pass rush. We've already seen 3 pass rushers come off the board. I would take a shot on like a David Bailey, a Cassius Howell, one of those two, because the pass rush just needs to be better. They've made free agent acquisitions the last couple of years that, in my opinion, really haven't worked out, whether it was Clowney or Wonham or Patrick Jones. I think it's time to take a real big splash and go after edge in this class. And I know that they double dipped in last year's draft, but I don't know. If those guys aren't producing yet as rookies, why not just keep throwing darts at a dartboard? Pick 17. Oh, looks like we're going to get Kenyon Sadiq going to the Chiefs. This is so obvious. Yeah, you're looking for the Travis Kelce replacement, the heir apparent. You don't know when he's going to retire, this year, next year. I don't know if he's made that public. But if Sadiq is here and the Chiefs are picking this early, for goodness sake, golly, then I think Sadiq's kind of a perfect fit. Okay, 18. Chicago Bears, Jeremiah Love. Misspelled Jeremiah. To be fair, as the normal way to spell Jeremiah is what it is. Going to the Bears, this is probably one of the most fun projections to make just because it's Ben Johnson. Kyle Monungai is starting to flash a little bit there for the Bears with DeAndre Swift, but Swift is someone that they could move off of after this year if they want to. But if you're looking for Jeremiah Love landing spots in the first round, the first team that comes to mind is always going to be the Bears. The Bears. Let's talk about the Chargers at pick 19. Mateo Uiagalelei out of Oregon, the edge. This is the next edge player off the board. I still think there's some things he needs to clean up in his game, but I get it. If you're swinging for upside, then you're probably swinging for Mateo. The Chargers, their pass. I mean, they went out and got Odafe Owe. Obviously, they're not happy with their current pass rush. You could also insert whatever offensive lineman you want here, specifically guard, center. Could be where the first interior player comes off the board, but yeah, I don't mind the pick. Pick 20, Cleveland Browns. Okay, they go Caleb Lomu, so they forego going a quarterback. Let's see. I wonder what they do in the second round then. They get Caleb Lomu. I'm a Trevor Gooseby guy. What can I say? But the Browns, you look at that offensive line, it's going to look radically different next year. Their whole offensive interior, I believe, are free agents. I think they could get off Conklin's contract. DeJuan Jones has been hurt and has looked meh the last 2 seasons or 1.5 seasons. So tackle makes a ton of sense. Ooh, Jermon McCoy. Jermon McCoy going to the Bills. Another corner here for the Bills. Because, I mean, I guess technically you can work Maxwell Harrison. There we go. As a slot player. Maybe get off of, I don't know if getting off Taron Johnson's contract is something they could do this offseason. Probably is. But the Bills, they could go a variety of different ways. I think they got a very good team, and they could really go wherever they want. Seattle Seahawks, they go with Denzel Boston, wide receiver out of Washington. They keep the Washington man in the state of Washington. Cooper Kupp probably done after this year, whether that's retirement or just going to another team. Boston reminds me of, at least in terms of the role, it's like, okay, isn't that a little bit of what you have Torrey Horton doing? But obviously Boston probably does it at a better, higher level. Regardless, I don't mind them getting pass catchers for their franchise quarterback in Sam Darnold. Golly, never thought I'd be saying that. All right, we got the Rams. This is their second pick, Avion Terrell. This is also one of the easiest projections to make. Okay, undersized corner. If you want him to still play on the outside, get him in on the Rams or the Falcons, because those schemes, they don't mind having smaller corners. It's a hand and glove fit, especially if you're in the camp of Avion Terrell is a first round corner, then you're probably going to have him go to the Rams. Detroit Lions go with Cassius Howe, edge, out of Texas A&M. You know, I kind of like this. Maybe if the Lions use high draft capital on an edge player, because his role would be, I imagine, similar to like a James Houston. You remember when James Houston went off his rookie year. Not to say he's only a DPR, but like, and DPR designated pass rush only, but someone that you can maybe even use in coverage here and there, or get a real fancy and creative with. Cassius Howe is that, on top of breeding you a phenomenal pass rushing skill set. Pick 25. Oh, it's Mekhi Lemon going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh, I'm much higher on Mekhi Lemon. I have him going way, way high. He's top 15 easy for me. But Steelers, hey, if Aaron Rodgers keeps playing it like this, then he's probably coming back for another year. It's like, hey, this feels great. Get me more weapons. Though Aaron Rodgers doesn't like typically to throw to rookie wide receivers, maybe he changes that in his final or among his final years. Okay, who do we got next on the docket? It's the Denver Broncos. They go Isaiah World, tackle out of Oregon. I'm not there with World as a first round tackle. He's played well, and I think he's looked good for the most part, making the jump from group of 5 to the power 4, but I'd rather take him on day 2 somewhere. Broncos, you could, I guess, look to the future at tackle. I mean, that's what you're doing in the draft. You're looking to, you're not necessarily looking for guys that can start and make a difference now, but eventually you're looking for the long term. Tampa Bay Buccaneers go with Sonny Styles, linebacker out of Ohio State. You get the heir apparent to Levante David, or at the very least, a short-term running mate for Levante David before he actually takes over for Levante David. I'm game for this. Sonny Styles, absolutely love him. He's kind of a physical freak. Pick 28, David Bailey going to the Philadelphia Eagles. Son of a gun. Brandon Graham coming out of retirement to hopefully come save the Eagles pass rush. They've been getting a good rush from the interior, but they need it on the outside. They currently just don't have it. Bailey, I think he's got like what, a 23, 24 pass rush win rate percentage. Gotta love it. Might not have ideal length, but honestly, that kind of doesn't matter a ton in a Vic Fangio scheme, so I'm not worried about it. Pick 29. Oh, man. It looks like we're going to get Dennis Sutton, edge out of Penn State, going to the Patriots. I do think the Patriots could be in for a defensive heavy draft. Dennis Sutton, he'd be a guy that Vrabel could make use of. I see him more as a day 2 player right now, because since the beginning of the year, I think his play has kind of slipped off since that Oregon game. To be fair, you could say that about Penn State in general. All right, pick 30. 49ers, Trevor Gooseby, tackle out of Texas. He has been playing great. He was a dude that I was like, hey, he only really played significant snaps in 4 games last year. They were hella good against hella good competition. I believe in this cat, and he's been really good this season. He's checks a lot of boxes in terms of tools. If you're looking for the heir apparent for Trent Williams, could be your guy. Dallas Cowboys via Green Bay, Caleb Banks, defensive interior out of Florida. So they kind of try to renovate the defensive line. Caleb Banks, he's kind of tough to project because for one, older prospect, for two, hasn't played this year because of a foot injury that he got in fall camp, re-aggravated it versus LSU. So we've only seen him for like 30 snaps this season. To me, I wouldn't touch him in the first round. I'd be like, okay, well, we could push that sucker back till sometime on day 2. And then I'd feel more comfortable taking that swing. But hey, to each their own. The final first round pick before we get to day 2, get to that second round, is the Indianapolis Colts. They go LT Overton. I love LT Overton. He's my dude. He doesn't really have the glory of big sacks and high pressure rate, but his win rate's great. He creates a lot of production for everyone around him. You got what? Yanni Pierre, or I forgot his name. He's not, I don't think he's, he is eligible this year, but he probably comes out next year. He's just really emerged with Overton opening up a lot of production for everyone else. So don't sleep on Overton. Physically and athletically, very gifted player who needs a little bit of polish, but the traits, the tools, the skill set, they're there. On to round 2, I imagine he just lists them out. So let's go ahead and read them out. New York Jets go with Colton Hood, corner out of Tennessee. I don't mind it. Colton Hood, a lot of people throw him in the first round. The Saints do go with another second round quarterback with Lenora Sellers. I don't think that's very likely, but I think Sellers might end up coming back. But Saints going for another second round quarterback. I don't know if I'm about that. Tennessee Titans go with Joshua Joseph's edge out of Tennessee. Dude, if he continues to fill out his frame, I think he's a first rounder. He's got like 82-inch wingspan. It's freaking phenomenal. Miami Dolphins, they go with Garrett Nussmeier, quarterback out of LSU. Don't love it, but is what it is. Quincy Rhodes Jr., edge out of Arkansas, going to the Ravens. I mean, the Ravens grabbing more pass rush. I don't mind. I think Rhodes probably stays for another year. He needs to continue to develop, but a lot of people do like the physical skill set. Jennings Dunker, guard, I'm saying it, guard out of Iowa, going to the Raiders. Man, Dylan Parham just doesn't fit this offense. Has looked rubbish. Got to protect your new franchise quarterback. They took Dante Moore in this draft, so I get it. Xavier Chaplin, offensive tackle out of Auburn, going to the Giants. Chaplin's kind of fallen off for me. I look at him, I'm like, I mean, I get it from a tools perspective, but the play just hasn't been stellar. I think since the Oklahoma game where I felt really exposed. I think it was the Oklahoma game. Hey, but Giants take care of Dart. I like it. CJ Allen, linebacker out of Georgia, going to the Cardinals. Cardinals need a linebacker. CJ Allen should be talked about more. Cleveland Browns go with AJ Harris, corner out of Penn State. Nice pickup. I wish he would have more splash plays and coverage, but kind of is what it is. Houston Texans go with Vega. Yawane, I believe is how you say it. Guard out of Penn State. Yeah, if you're the Texans, keep taking shots on this offensive line. He is my interior 1. I just released my offensive interior rankings earlier today. You should check it out. We got Amari Washington, defensive lineman out of Oregon, going to the Texans. So back-to-back picks here for the Texans. Washington, phenomenal. Still needs polish, but moves extremely well for that size. We got Caden McDonald, defensive lineman out of Ohio State, going to the Bengals. So we see defensive line kind of come off the board here. The Atlanta Falcons grab another wide receiver. They did just part ways with Ray McLeod. Take that how you may. They grabbed Chris Bell. I love Chris Bell. I think he has a chance to be a first-round wide receiver. I love guys that are just good after the catch, but He has really expanded the route tree and developed a little bit as a route runner. Am I saying he's like polished and complete and crafty as a route runner? No, he still needs to figure out the nuances of the position, in my opinion, but he's hella good. Dylan Thieneman, safety out of Oregon, going to the Vikings. I actually really like him as the heir apparent to Harrison Smith. Ooh, could be a comp, by the way. Could be a comp. Keith Abney, corner out of Arizona State, going to the Cowboys. He should be a first rounder. I'm just going to throw that out there. He should be a first rounder. I love Keith Abney. Pick 48. Big Citrus, Dominic Orange out of Iowa State, going to the Chiefs. I like Big Citrus, man. He's a little twitched up. Wish the production was better, but it is what it is. Man, defensive linemen are just flying off the board. You got Christian Miller, defensive lineman out of Georgia, going to the Panthers. I mean, they invested heavily in their defensive interior. I don't know if you want to do that again. Romello Height, edge out of Texas Tech, going to the Bears. To me, he's more of a DPR type of play. But, I mean, the production's there. I guess I don't mind it too much. Lawrence Seymour, offensive lineman out of Western Kentucky. Not on my radar at all. Haven't watched him. Not even in the draft guide. Probably will be now that I see him here. I'm intrigued. Jags offensive line is just falling apart, by the way. Golly. All right, Malik Muhammad, corner out of Texas, going to the Chargers. Coming off a big game against Texas. I can't recall how he played against South Carolina. I imagine probably well. But yeah, he could be a guy that could return, continue to develop his body, but playing good football this year. R. Mason Thomas, edge out of Oklahoma. Buffalo, looking for maybe a little bit more pass rush with this move. Got Harold Perkins, linebacker out of LSU, going to the Rams here. I mean, I feel like they got that in Josiah Stewart last year. Well, with their pick from the last draft. Connor Lew going to the Lions. Love the pick. I think he returns to school. Late season or mid-season ACL tear. Probably doesn't take part in the offseason draft process. Probably means he comes back. Austin Barber, tackle out of Florida, going to the Seahawks. He's had a rough year. I don't know if he goes this high. John Mateer. Oh, I love me John Mateer. Quarterback out of Oklahoma, going to the Steelers. Steelers get their quarterback of the future. Mateer just has that it factor. Jashawn Barham, linebacker / edge out of Michigan, going to the Buccaneers. Probably plays edge here then, if that's the case. Chris Brazzell, wide receiver out of Tennessee, going to the Eagles. Maybe is this looking ahead to moving AJ Brown? Could be. Antonio Williams, wide receiver out of Clemson, going to the Broncos. I think he probably returns to school. That's my bet. He's been banged up this year and could be a red flag because I think it was not last year, but the year before. He struggled with injuries and struggled staying on the field. Jacoby Lane, wide receiver out of USC, going to the Niners. I'm not the biggest Lane guy. I'm not a sucker for possession wide receivers, and I see him as a possession wide receiver. Still see him as a day 2 player, though. Love me Whit Weeks, linebacker at LSU. Going to Mike Vrabel and the Patriots just warms my heart. Davidson Igbinosun, corner out of Ohio State, going to the Packers. Packers get some great size with this pick at corner. He's played really good football this season. Still handsy as hell, just not been called as much for it. Oh, man, this makes me sad a little bit. Damani Jackson, corner out of Alabama, going to the Colts. Colts could use a corner, makes sense. Damani Jackson, not having, in coverage, he's been pretty solid. It's just his run defense is so abysmal. And I kind of put him into the same tier as actually a Davidson Igbinosun, as in these guys that check all the boxes, really good traits, really good athletes. It's just there's stuff in their game that it's like, is that something we're going to be able to work out of you when you get to the NFL? But there it is. That is a 2-round mock draft. You go ahead. Let me know. What were some of your favorite picks or some of the favorite names, prospects that you saw in this 2-round mock draft. I'm going to go ahead and add Lawrence Seymour to the draft guide after this. But that's it for the video. Go ahead, do that YouTube thing. As always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.